2, 1, mic is on, and camera's on, and good morning everybody, my name is Osa, and we are playing Farming Simulator 22 on Maypole Farm. It is Boxing Day for, I guess, former members of the British Empire, British Commonwealth, current members of the British Commonwealth, maybe even former members. America, not so much. We don't do Boxing Day, but we close 2 days over Christmas, since Christmas is in the since Christmas is during a weekend, we get the days surrounding it. Why aren't you? Oh, okay, engine on. Sorry, you. Basically, I finished collecting all the straw, and we have loaded an absolute ton of it into the barn area. Straw is up to 288,000 as bedding, so that should last us a while. And just in case it doesn't, I still have a couple of straw bales spare, so all is not completely gone. So during off-camera moments, I have shipped a full wagon load of oats and all of the wheat down to the grain mill and got that started processing. So we may or may not see a loss of money for a while that's running. Okay, let's put this back. So yeah, there's what, 2, 4, 5 more. So there's another 50,000 litres of straw there, just in case. But we're really good for straw. So I think when it comes to harvesting contracts, if I do any, I don't need to bother myself too much about whether we collect straw on those harvests. And shuffle you into there, because I think for right now we are done with the Massey Ferguson. We are done with that. Our whole crop is fully wrapped, so don't have to worry about that right now. I'm gonna leave. I was gonna say I'm gonna leave the spike on this, but I will leave the spike on it for now. I might need to swap it out for pallet forks so we can get the tomatoes loaded at the end of the month. But I think for right now, I just don't need to have this out in the yard. So I will put that in there, and we will jump over to this guy, because our job for the morning, rest of the morning, it's 30 minutes left of the morning, but oh crap, hi car. We have this field to adjust the edge of, and I'm going to need to pull up that to say turn on crop sets, no. Lower prow, no. Rotate plow, fold plow, allow create fields, that one, 9. And very, very carefully I want to cut the edge of this field. And of course this is going to make a ton of rocks, which I'm going to have to shovel up at some point. Because that's a thing. But that means this is done. This entire field, including this new area, is going to need some lime. So I will have to go down to the store and lease a lime spreader so that we can do that. Now, we're pushing the dirt to the right. Okay. Gonna come up to the end here. I think it's probably okay that I don't go into the corner. Well, maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I'm gonna have... I'll do the edge and then we'll fill it in, I think. That's probably the best move for now. Okay. So yeah, because of the way the edge of this field is sloped, I don't really want to get into that corner because the harvester won't fit there. But I think I need another row over to the left at the moment, so I will attempt to do that. And of course, once we've got the main bit defined, we can then start looking at just filling it all in. So that should be a nice straight row. Of course, what I probably should be doing is doing this from the defined field out rather than from the top of the field down to the edge of the defined field. But, well, I didn't do that, so we're going to see where this gets us. I think, yeah, it should go out a little bit further, but, you know, them's the brakes. I want to adjust, whoa, that crazy bit there. You know what? The easiest way of fixing that is landscaping, painting, probably that. Gonna need it a little bit bigger. Brush size M. Right about there, and I will fill it in with grass, because grass looks nice. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's the top corner as best I can do it. We will now flip the plow. The help window is not on. Okay, rotate plow. Okay, that corner's going to be a little bit of a problem with the plough rotated the way it is. We will fix that as final adjustment later. But for right now, the best thing to do is drive along this edge of the field. Now, I don't really want to drive too far into the field because I don't want to put rocks where there don't need to be any rocks. I mean, okay, the other advantage of using a plough is there's not going to be any weeds in this top area either. There are going to be weeds in the rest of the field, and we'll be able to deal with those with the spot spray. So again, not too much of a bad thing. this tractor does have GPS. Oh. Do I want to use GPS to do this though? That's the question. Okay, how's that look? That kind of looks okay. So the thing I haven't done with GPS yet is the offset working piece of equipment. Oh, stuck on a tree. There we go. So the centre line of the tractor is not the centre line of the plough, and GPS has settings to mess with that. However, I'm not entirely certain what those settings are. Plus, we can do this by eye. Ploughing is one of those jobs, because you do consecutive rows. I'm not really worried about getting accuracy on the how wide the rows are going to go. Some points here I'm ploughing up the bit I just ploughed, but no effect there. Okay. I need to tidy out that join on the field. So what I might do is turn this about and just run this particular edge again in the direction I said I should have earlier, which is basically position a little bit further right and drop it there. So we are going to plough a little bit of that field area, but then I can just dive straight up the side here. I didn't get it to a 0 degree angle. So the other thing I might do is come along there and just paint it straight. Although we have spent a lot of money painting recently. Okay, so I think the plan here, I'm going to do some of this. I'm then going to jump into the John Deere, do a run of oats down to the flour mill. We'll do some more of this, and if we get this part of the field cleared, I will lease a lime spreader and probably set off a worker to spread lime on this part of the field. Once we've limed this field, I'm going to move over to our other harvested field, and we have some work to do there as well, obviously. As I said, both of the harvested fields needed lime. I have just finished spreading fertilizer on the grass field, so that should improve the grass yield. And did I go too far out there? Not noticeably. Okay. I might need to do another run along the outside there. Yeah, sorry, I just finished fertilizing the grass field. Again, I did that off camera, and so that should put the grass field at a good level for environmental score and yield based on nitrogen. Oh, the other thing we need to do on these two fields is to spread slurry. Quite a lot of slurry from what I remember. What is it? canola is a very high nitrogen demanding crop. Now, one of the things about canola is it's not, of the pig protein foods, shall we say, it's not very valuable. It's the best crop to grow for your pig food in base game, but it's not very valuable. However, it is the non-cereal crop that you can plant during the fall, so it's an early plant crop, which is good, and isn't a cereal, so it allows you some level of crop rotation. Whoa, dude. I should probably have put a weight on the front of this. This is borderline, this tractor is borderline capable of using this plow. It's actually, I think until you get to the Lemkin 12, is it? Which is my preferred big plow. If we were doing, I need to plow this field, I'd be using a Lemkin. Probably with one of these to tidy up the bits that it's just frustrating to try and do with the Lemkin. But anyway, so I picked a small plow because it's easier to do this with. Plus, it's a lot cheaper than the Lemkin. But it's sort of a choice. If you're doing, say, when we were back on Lawfolds, there was almost half the bottom of the map was a grass field or a grass pasture that you really needed to plough. So for that, this one, it's 4.9 meters. It's a reasonably good horsepower. It's below 400. You get up to the Cavernland. Actually, that one's possible as well. It's 6 meters. That one's good too. We could run that. But then you get into the huge ones, but these get unwieldy. The wheels are in the middle. It's just awkward to do a fine adjustment like what we're trying to do here. So let's lift that up. So really, what I'm looking at now is to just get the edges right, and then it's not really that long to fill in the middle because the middle's not that big. But when we get into growing corn or maize or root crops, we're going to need to plough the field afterwards in order to maximise our yield. And at that point, we are going to need to have a plough and bite the bullet when it comes to, well, that's going to screw up our environmental score because we're ploughing. I think you can get around that just by using a direct drill after you finish ploughing. Bit started. Okay. Sorry. That's my drink done, and lift. And flip. So what other things have we got to do on the farm? So yeah, we've got a good deal of slurry spreading. We've got a good deal of nitrogen, pH to balance. And once that's all done, I think we can call these fields adequately prepared for planting. Oh, we've got to pick the stone. I'm not going to pick the stones up on camera. I'll come back after sometime before next week and grab the stone bucket and just load our grain trailer with rocks and take them down to the store. It's not really worth money, but it does save on damage to equipment. I think, as I've said before, I'm not actually sure it does increase damages to things like lime spreaders, because obviously lime spreaders aren't cracking against the rocks. Primarily it's things like harvester headers, seeders and what have you, where they're digging into the ground and thus implements are being damaged by rocks on the surface. However, that's a question for how did Wood Giants do the programming for increased damage. Did they just say all implements towed behind a vehicle or attached to a vehicle take increased damage if they drive over a field full of rocks? Or did they just say specific equipment, cultivators, planters, slurry injectors, I would suggest, is a thing, and maybe one or two other things. Maybe one option I do have here is rather than I could use the slurry tanker on the existing piece of land, or the existing field, and use a manure spreader on the new piece of land. I can lease the manure spreader, and I don't care if it gets a little bit damaged by rocks. Yeah, I probably should, but I'm not sure if leased equipment actually does wear out particularly quickly. I guess we could look at our milk truck, because that's leased. So, snow was supposed to stop yesterday, and snow is still going. Although I don't think we're looking at any significant inches today. I do have to get out there at some point, and my weather thing on my PC is not telling me what the temperatures are planned to be today. I do not need a pink flower in the middle of my field, sorry. Die. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know what the current temperatures are, but I do need to get out there and move some snow off the pathway. Fortunately, Teenage Osa did put a lot of salt down last week when there was just a sprinkling of snow, which has resulted in the snowfall this week not bonding quite so tightly to the pathway. I cleared off the steps so you can actually walk down from the front door to the pathway, but it cleared off the steps really easily. I don't know if that's because of what the steps are made of, or whether they were just coated in salt, so there wasn't a great bonding of cold material on pavement material, type material. But again, as I said, it's snowing, so we're probably going to wait till the snow stops before I go out there and try shifting any of it. We did clean out the fish tank yesterday, so they're all happy in their clean water. And I had to change the filters rather than rinsing them. Let's try and straighten that up before we go herring across the field like a rabbit. Okay, go. So, Disturb Simulations released a video yesterday on can you make money from pigs with Maize Plus, and he actually admitted pigs are not particularly profitable even in base game, and the reason is because you can either buy the food in, buy pig food, or use a mod and buy the components of pig food. And part of the problem with that is you are reducing your profit, and since pig profit is I have a pig, I sell a pig, that's my profit, you have to deduct from the amount you sell the pig for with the food you feed it. So okay, everybody says buying pig food is a bad deal, although it may be useful to get you started in the early years. Now my preference is, well, let's grow our own pig food and we can then not have to buy it. So technically the pig is free because we're not paying money to feed it. But what many people don't consider is you've got the lost income opportunity. And what that means is